But in other news, the Judicial Service Commission has begun interviewing candidates to fill positions in various courts around the country. The commission is going ahead despite contestation from the MK party, who tried to halt or at least postpone the sitting. The JSC is set to interview a total 54 candidates vying for 26 vacancies within the judiciary. Those proceedings have now begun. Let's step in.
CJ, I thought you'll start on the minister. Thereafter.
There's no problem, actually. Now that you've given me, thank you very much, Chief Justice, and good morning, Judge Bartman.
Good morning.
Thank you very much. As a judge of the Supreme Court of Appeal, how are you going to deal with cases where you believe judicial precedent as set out by previous courts is outdated and possibly does no longer address the interest of justice?
We deal with that in the High Court as well. If that happens, you look at the case in front of you, the facts in front of you, the pleaded case, and determined whether this is an appropriate case to develop the law, if the facts meet that sort, and yeah, you would do that. It's the case in front of you, whether that case is right. Even if the case is not right to develop the common law, it is sometimes appropriate to make remarks which other courts used afterwards to develop that.
In instances where there are divergent views, as the judge who possibly could be appointed on cases that you are dealing with in a panel, how are you going to deal with disagreements? And how are you going to ensure you maintain the independence as a judge, but also leading a panel, of course?
You do that often when you in the High Court and you're the senior judge in an appeal with two. Sometimes people have very strong views opposing you, or you might have strong views. There's nothing wrong with that. That's what we meant to do. We meant to make our points forcefully if necessary, but always respectfully. And you must always be able to then write a dissenting judgment. Yeah.
Thank you, Chief Justice.
Thank you, Minister. Commissioner Kane.
Thank you, Chief Justice. Good morning, Ms. Bartman.
Good morning.
Have you had an opportunity to carefully consider the review that was presented by the GCB?
Yes, I have.
Now, in that review, they raise a couple of things. The one is that you hadn't supplied your date of birth, and the Chief Justice took that up with you, and you said it was required to be done in an Annexure A. I also spent some time looking for Annexure A, and whatever is attached to your application doesn't seem to deal with that question. Are we missing something?
I don't know, but there was a loose annexure, and that asked for my personal details. In fact, I have a copy, and I'll hand it up.
Thank you. Perhaps I can have a look at that just now.
Yeah, CJ, I wanted to propose that the candidate bring the mic closer to us.
Just bring the mic closer to you, Judge Bartman.
I should move closer.
You can't pull it forward.
Yeah.
We don't want you.
Okay. Is that better? Okay. I have Annexure A here.
Thank you very much. I'll certainly have a look at that.
My name, my cell phone number, residential address, and ID.
May I take you then to matters of some concern in the GCB's report? They have traversed a number of your judgments, and what they raise are issues pertaining to judgments you gave. They say that you dealt, for instance, with an issue of prescription without having any of the primary facts before you. They say that you misunderstood the nature of discovery and what the purpose of that was. They say you really misconstrued what would have been a condition and took into account completely irrelevant considerations and veered off course, and that your conclusion was legally untenable. Those are criticisms you would have seen, and I would like you please just to deal with that and persuade the Commission that in these areas of civil law, that you do indeed have sufficient experience to deal with those kind of aspects.
Okay, thank you. Can I deal with the matter of Grootkraal first? In Grootkraal, it was a matter of mine that was upset. If you go to paragraph, you might not have the judgment in front of you. I have the appeal judgment in front of me. And paragraph 20, is that, sorry, just a minute. Paragraph 20, the court sums it up. The court says, Grootkraal's history is bound up with the history of the missionary activities in this part of South Africa. And then he says, the parties dealt with this on a relatively cursory basis. In the result, some of the assertions made were more the product of legal drafting than historic facts. And then the court proceeds on paragraph 21. It says, much of what